Welcome to the Personal Training Show. I'm Lawrence.
And I'm Jennifer.
Today we're going to teach you how to do straddle squats.
They're very similar to pliés and ballet.
They are?
Yes, they are. Are you ready to learn?
I am.
Let's go to the gym.
Let's go. All right, we are ready to teach straddle squats. So Jennifer, get in a straddle stance.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Okay, remember we said it's like pliés and ballet? Second position, if you were fortunate enough to take ballet, is not quite as wide as we would do this exercise. Since we have the board here, we tell everyone to take up the whole distance of this board. So take up a little less. That is more like second position in ballet. I would know. I had about a 15-year span as a ballet dancer. So because this is not ballet, this is exercise, and we're actually exercising a function of the hips and the musculature of this hip function, we're going to take up a wider stance. It makes it easier to do the exercise well. Correct. Okay? And so you do turn your femur out. Okay? That's the frame of your thigh. Okay? So the bone called the femur is the frame of your thigh, and you turn it out. It's kind of easy to turn one out at a time. It's much harder to turn both out at the same time. So you may not be able to do that. So show me a less severe turnout of the foot. Good. That's okay to start. So don't wrench your foot. They actually teach you this in dance as well if they're a good teacher. The turnout is from the hip joint, okay? It's not the foot. So just don't turn your foot out there and not try to turn the femur from the hip joint. And the reason why is because you'll wrench your knees having an unnatural turnout of the foot. It's not associated with the same amount of turnout at the hip joint, the ball of the femur. Got it? Okay? Remember, exercise serves us. So we want to start with a correct and low dose until our body learns to accept that exercise, and then we're home free. We can practice on a masterful level from that point forward, which should be almost immediately, as long as you're introduced to the skill, straddle squats, in a good way. I'm going to do that. Okay. So the movement, that would be the stance, okay? The next thing that we need to talk about is the body posture. The stance is actually part of the body posture. Body posture means everything that's not moving, every part of you that doesn't move. The thing after that we introduce is the mechanics. That's all the moving parts. The posture for this one, besides the stance, includes the pelvis, okay? Now, on every other exercise that we usually do, the pelvis, which is in a straight up and down position right now, tilts, okay? You stick your butt back. That's the beginning of almost every lower body exercise that we do, and many others, okay? Bent over rows for the upper back, et cetera, et cetera. So this one, this pelvis, you have to imagine it. It's a skeletal piece that your legs are attached to, your spine is attached to. It is definitely the centerpiece of human anatomy. We're an upright animal, and our hips are the centerpiece of us as an upright animal. That was good. The hips stay straight up and down, okay? That's going to be called a neutral position. If they tilt forward, that's butt back. That's called an anterior tilt. If you tucked your tail between your legs, that's called a posterior tilt. We don't ever use that. I guess you kind of use that in a sit-up or a leg lift or something. But this is a neutral pelvic position or a neutral hip position. That's the one we use. Now, how do we lower? In every other exercise, we sit. And sitting is based on the anterior tilt. Is just what that's called. Stick your butt back. And then you just lower, okay? That's not. So we're not going to sit on this one. So how do we lower? How does our pelvis lower between our feet? Okay? The way you do that is primarily with an image. When you're standing there, you picture the inner thighs, okay? When you turn your femur out, there is an inner and an outer thigh, okay? When you don't use those terms. But when you turn your thigh out, so my knee's pointing that way, then you have an inner thigh and an outer thigh. How you lower your pelvis, slowly and controlled, is by opening your inner thighs and back. Okay. Back has always been described in those 15 years that I had it described to me on a class-by-class basis as scissor up. So you open your inner thighs and scissor up. That is basically the mechanics. Open your inner thighs. Your legs are the only thing that moves. And scissor up. So you pull them in. Okay, now for that terminology that unfortunately we need to know this. The reason that we need to know the terms abduction and adduction is because they are the titles for a primary function of the hip joint or the hips. Okay, there's only two functions, primary hip functions: the flex, extend, and the abduct, adduct. This, we have to make an exercise on every primary joint function, or we do not fully develop nor maintain our body anatomical function. Okay, so we're going to abduct, open those inner thighs, and adduct. Adduct is ADD. It helps to remember which one is abduct and which one is adduct, because when you're coming back, you add your leg to you. So the lower is abduct, ABD. Going up is adduct, ADD. Okay, you got it? So the body posture is the stance. We don't move our feet around on the floor. You're in a fixed stance. And the body posture also includes the pelvis. The less movement of the pelvis out of that neutral position, the lower grade you get. And then the mechanics or the movement, mechanics means movement. Open the inner thighs and close. Okay? That's basically it. So turn around and do some more, please. Good. I'd love to tell Jennifer to turn around.
But
Abduct and adduct. Our general format for strength exercises is 4 sets of 10. There is nothing wrong with that format. If you want to vary it a little, go right ahead. We vary it all the time here. Okay? Sometimes we do 3 sets. Sometimes we do 5 sets. Sometimes we do 5 or 6 reps, which we call a half set. And then sometimes we do more reps. Okay? Over the course of your exercising career, which is also called your lifespan, you want to vary things. Otherwise, you develop what we call rote. Your body develops a tolerance for the exercise stimulus, and then you do not maintain your anatomical functions, which here we also refer to as agelessness. Agelessness is defined by no significant or noticeable decline in any anatomical function, what your body does on a day-to-day basis. Isn't that fun watching Jennifer? Okay, that really is the end of the instruction. So I just want you to watch how precisely Jennifer does everything that we've discussed in the music video.
Incorporating straddle squats into my regular exercise program has made me realize that the hips are very important, that they stay strong, and that they're a complex unit that need to be strengthened and to be flexible for various uses.
You need strength exercises, a method, a means to regularly stimulate the full development, just like you need school for the intellect.
The hips are the genesis of human movement. They take you from point A to point B. Walking, running, cycling, swimming, getting up out of bed in the morning, taking a seat on the couch. And it's very important that we keep them strong and preserve that function.
Once you do your very, very best to fully develop those anatomical functions, strength training is really the only means to maintain them.
I don't want to get a hip replacement down the road. I don't want to fall and break. And strength training is the only way to preserve the density of my hips.
If you don't do strength workouts regularly, each week, you are degenerating. Not just your tissues, not just your bone and your muscle, but the actual function of everything. The joints get so rusty, so stiff. Your muscles get tight. Week after week, month after month, year after year, if you do not have regular strength training program.
Think about straddle squats. Try them out. Thanks for watching today. See you next time.
It's enough to think about, isn't it?